Uh, okay, I'm Alejandro Benito. I come from University of Salamanca and doing my PhD in big data visualization. So I mainly work with computers and the way humans perceive the information that is presented on a screen, amongst other things. This presentation has been made by my partners at the Austrian Academy of Sciences, concretely in the Center for Digital Humanities. Well, I'm going to discuss our experiences trying to implement interfaces that display lexicographic data to final users, in this case, lexicographers. Well, I didn't know lexicography. I didn't know anything about lexicography, almost anything, until 2016, 15. So I'm being honest here, as you can see. Now, if I look back, yeah, I'm trying to make patterns in my mind, trying to wrap my head around all this that we have been working on during the past 2.5 years. I chose this quote from Robert Pirsig from this great book. This is called Zen and the Art of the Motorcycle Maintenance. And I find it very true for my own experiences. I've been quite lost at some point. I didn't know how to communicate with my counterparts and lexicographers. And I don't think I could actually understand what they were trying to tell me. And well, this is something that needs to be analyzed, needs to be explained, and needs to be addressed, and obviously needs to be formalized in the shape of methodologies and other artifacts. So, digital humanities is a little bit of an oxymoron, right? Humanity just became digital a few years ago. People are supposed to be related to the digital world or to the humanities world. You are not supposed to be both. You know, when I speak to people that ask me what's my job about, they simply freak out. They don't know what it is. It's quite new, I think, at least for the general public, out of our academic bubble. You know, and this way of thinking it's actually streamlined in the education as well. You are forced to choose. You are not supposed to be both, right? So our duty, or at least my duty, what I'm trying to grasp here is what a digital humanist is. This is a slide that I used in another presentation of mine that we had in Salamanca last year, I think. So it's two different discourses that we are trying to bring together and make sense out of them. Yeah. Okay, this is another funny one. Right? This is about skepticism. It's about be very careful with technological optimism. I think we need to focus more on the way we communicate with each other rather than this technology or that technology. That comes at the end, I think. But first, we need to address these problems. And these problems are related to people, not machines. So yeah, digital humanities is a dialogue mainly between the digital and the humanists, right? So we have to pay attention to the dynamics of the process, how the information flows, where are the bottlenecks. So this would be the amount of information, what are the paths this information takes, and also the quality of this information and how it is perceived by all the stakeholders involved in the project. For this, obviously, you need to keep an open-minded. You need to keep an open-minded profile towards the rest of the team and enable channels to communicate needs. These are technological channels like, I would say, technology stacks or ad hoc software, etc. Okay, so we obtained some results, not many, but a few. I was awarded by a grant to do a short-term scientific mission in the, very enriching, by the way, in the Austrian Academy of Sciences with my partners. Yeah, we had another experience from a designer who is not here today, and she went to Salamanca to obtain a different perspective also from us data visualizers and lexicographers. And these results that we obtained were in the design theory, user-centered design. What is user-centered design? Is there a design that is not user-centered? Well, no. Well, there are, but they are not good designs. So we obtain results in the agile software methodologies, in micro-prototyping, as you will see in a moment, citizen science, we made games, we talked to kids in the schools, we sold them these prototypes, and also in the field that actually touches me more, which is visual analysis and exploration. We had, workshops. Some of the people you can see there, there's a designer, there are 2 data visualizers, and there are a few lexicographers. I think there are more lexicographers than actual technical people there in this picture. In this workshop, we performed a cultural probe. Cultural probes are a way to, by applying different serious games, they create dynamics between teams. So you understand how the others think, how they, what you can expect for a certain problem to obtain from other people, how they contribute to the problem, you know. One of the things that we found is that it's very good to have, this is the interface for Trello. This is a very simple task manager, but we found it very, very adequate for our purposes since we were able to extract tasks out of these sessions and then assign them to people so everybody knows what's their responsibility, what they are supposed to do and when, which is, I think, very important. Okay, I'm going to talk about also the other technological artifacts that we used, and these were visualization software mainly that runs on the web. My thesis is that, I think data visualization is much more effective in the digital humanities than any other means of communication, like, let's say, mainly written communication or even oral. So I think visualization has been key to obtain satisfactory results at the end of the design process iterations that we have performed. So at the beginning, this micro-prototyping was about designing small pieces of software related to specific parts of the data, which I call dimensions. So time or space or any other characteristic that is bound to the lexicographic data that we were offered. At the beginning, these prototypes were very small. The functionality was very reduced. Here I say that sometimes they were not useful at all. Well, I think, that occurred often, that they were not much useful. But that's fine. That's how it should be done. So it was a bit tedious sometimes. My partners will agree with me. And yeah, we often had to build something just to find out at the end that we were hitting a wall that didn't work. So, okay, let's dismiss this and let's try to find another solution. We've been following an adaptation of this methodology, digital humanities methodology, proposed by Jürgen Bernhard of the University of Constance in Germany. So we have adapted this methodology, which is basically what I say, it's propose a web prototype. This is published. We get evaluation from experts, and then we iterate over this cycle until it becomes something big or useful, or both. So just an example. So this is what we initially had. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the DBOE project from the Austrian Academy of Sciences. So this is lexicographic data that has been published on the web like some years ago. I think it's 2009. So we had this initially, as I said, and then we had these sessions in which these interdisciplinary sessions in which experts from some of the fields, or from many different fields, came together and suggested what they could afford. And this is the design stage. This is done by Alisa. This was something that we imagined we could do at some point. So it's the same, but basically, well, you added like dimensional analysis, like in these layers that you see on the left. So each one of these layers is a combination of filters. And then you could save these like paths and share them with other people that would come later and recreate these experiences over this lexicographic data that we had like from 2009 or before. And this is what we actually ended up having, which it's, well, I like, but obviously it's not the same. On the left, you can see the micro prototypes that we developed in the first stages. And I would say that what you see on the right, which is the final prototype that allowed spatial temporal analysis of lexicographic data, more than 2 million records were displayed in this interface. Yeah, we could say this is the result of what you see on the left. So many small prototypes produce a snowball effect that ends up being something that can be used. So yeah, as you can see here, so we tried with combining spatial dimension with spatial and temporal, with lemmas. Then lemmas with meanings, taxonomical analysis, hierarchical, how these lemmas were distributed amongst different questionnaires, different artifacts that were in the data, basically. Okay. Also, yeah, when reflecting about all this data, right, you try to think about what a dictionary is, what a historical dictionary is. You try to adapt this to your purposes. How you understand your dictionaries is basically key to what you're going to be offering at the end. So if I produce software, obviously my understanding of what a dictionary is going to be key. And I like this definition quite a lot. Says a dictionary is a lexicographical product which shows interrelationships among the data. I do quite a lot of also visual network analysis, and when we finished the previous prototype that you saw, we decided that it would be a good idea to base our work on this definition from now onwards. So we saw that in the spatio-temporal dimensions, it's not always easy to obtain. So even if the prototype was useful, then it would take a long time to map all the data to what we wanted. But in order to know this, we had to previously build this prototype. So that's something I think very, very useful, and that was proved by this methodology. So we started building other prototypes. So this is the same, another round of user-centered design techniques. We started building these prototypes which show not only the dimensions, but also the distribution of the relationships between the lemmas that we found in the field. So you see on the left meanings with lemmas, and the right, and it's basically the same, but using a core diagram. So it's more fit, more basically better. This is one of the last prototypes, so does this work? What? Okay, so this is one of the last prototypes that we built that's based on this previous micro prototype. So here we're exploring questionnaires and meanings that appear. So they would be concepts that appear in these questionnaires. So we have the different concepts represented as bulbs on the right, and on the left you have the number of the specific question inside a questionnaire. Okay, so by putting all this together, we are, creating this snowball effect that we expect that, will create better prototypes in the future. And I think this is the prototype that's obtained, I think, the best feedback, and yeah, we are happy with it. So basically, the prototype of this year is better than last year's, so that's, I think, a good sign. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to be finishing now. Okay, so the conclusions. Basically, yeah, we think that user-centered design is very adequate for digital humanities. I think it's something that we need to formalize, we need to write about it, and we need to spread it through the community. And this is what I will be investing most part of my time in the near future. I also claim that visualization is the key channel to understand these concepts by third parties, or even within the projects, the digital humanities projects. So we need to also write about this and formalize it more. And yeah, we need to keep paying attention to these information flows rather than a specific technology or a specific implementation or stack, or that everybody talks about. But then, yeah, I think they forget the basic things that digital humanities is about: two worlds communicating. So, okay, so that's it. Thank you.